Chelsea won, Liverpool won at Anfield, and what a controversial, exhilarating, spellbinding night of ecstasy in Premier League football we have just experienced. An excellent performance in both halves from Chelsea Football Club and Thomas Tuchel's men for very different reasons. Liverpool started brightly. Really were getting dominated for large parts of that first half, conceded an excellent goal courtesy of Kai Havertz for Chelsea. And then in the dying moments of that first half period are very controversial. And I say controversial because there is debate aplenty. I've seen just as many people say it was an accidental handball, therefore it shouldn't have been given. Many others condemning this and slamming this and stating that this should 100% have been a red card for Reece James. But the red card was given. The penalty was given. And Mo Salah equalised. But then the second half ensued. And Chelsea Football Club limited and restricted Liverpool. Chelsea Football Club limited and restricted Liverpool to basically long-range efforts. They couldn't break them down. This will be very, very disappointing indeed. Hugely disappointing to Jurgen Klopp and Liverpool Football Club to not capitalise on this brilliant opportunity. And from a Chelsea point of view, the second half performance was nothing short of spellbinding. Now, I want your views and opinions. We're opening up the lines for you. We need you to come on and give us your thoughts. We need you to come on and give us your feelings. Chelsea fans, do you feel aggrieved? Do you feel the referee was unfair in his treatment of you tonight? Do you feel it was a red card for Reece James? Do you feel the likes of Fabinho should have picked up cautions earlier? Liverpool fans, what's your reaction to this? We want to gauge it from both sides of the fence. The only fan channel that's going to let you phone up tonight. The only fan channel that's going to let you have your say. Also, a few new segments on the show tonight. Of course, there's vote for who you think I am going to be picking as my man of the match. That poll is up right now in the live comment section. But the final segment of tonight, brand new to the terrace, it's called Who Takes the L? It's my final conclusion on who is the biggest loser at the end of this game. That is all to come. Stay with the football terrace. Smash that like button. If you're watching on Give Me Sport, smash it. If you're watching on the football terrace here on YouTube, smash it. If you're watching over on Twitter, like it and retweet this. This is going to be epic. This is going to be spellbinding. Hit the like and share button. Let's go, people. There we go. Super chats are plenty coming in straight away. The bus shut the Anfield crowd to just, ooh, is what Young has got to say here. I have missed some super chats to put up on the screen, but I am going to read them all right now. We do our best to never miss them. Tyrone here says, not going to lie, I think if Chelsea didn't get that red card, we would have lost. Have to invest in players. Our attack is too stale in situations like this. Need a striker. And I feel you on that, Tyrone. I feel you on that. That was what was missing tonight from Liverpool. There was no cutting edge in the attack. None whatsoever. None at all. CP here says, Terry, Tuchel is a class manager. Great game. He is a class manager. And beyond being a class manager, on top of all of that, what stood out tonight from Tuchel was how he switched his team's style to cope with going down to 10 men. And they handled it seamlessly. Monsieur Ahmed with another super chat here that came in a little bit earlier. He says, poor performance by Liverpool. This is Monsour's a Liverpool supporter, by the way. Poor performance by Liverpool. Chelsea was solid and deserved the point. It was a penalty and it was a red card. Kudos to Chelsea, and we need to fix up. Juan here with a super chat says, I'm proud my Blues got a point at Liverpool down to a man. If that doesn't happen, we body Liverpool. We could have been 3 or 4 up in the first half. We have to make, if we'd have made some simple through passes, that's where I'm upset, Terry. Need chemistry is what Juan has got to say. We missed some earlier super chats. I want to read them out. Juan also said, where was Lukaku? Don't even Liverpool fans. Where was Salah, Mane or Jota? C with a super chat said, Liverpool fans say they have the best defense in the league, yet with 10 men, we held on to the draw, especially with Anthony Taylor Tax. CFC Felix says, a pen, but never a red card. I'm disappointed with our lack of fighting and decision-making when we should have killed the game off in the first half. R9 will adjust. Calling him R9 there, ladies and gentlemen. Lukaku had a mixed bag tonight for me. There was moments from Lukaku where I thought, oh, wow, excellent. That one touch and turn on Matip. Oh, Liverpool fans last week telling us Matip, second best centre-back in the league. So when Lukaku turned him, great. There were other times where Lukaku tonight tackled himself. And when Lukaku's tackling himself, there's problems. So proud of my club. Got jobbed with an ill-given red card and still got a point with 10 men. We are winning the league. I wonder, Chelsea fans, are you going to take more out of this draw than maybe winning? That resolute defense, so strong. Daniel here says, Tuchel masterclass. Chelsea incredible in and out of possession. Red card was unlucky, but correct under the laws of the game. Missed opportunity. Thank you for this donation. We can't read it out. There's nothing to read, but thank you. Tokyo here says, is there a different game plan between Liverpool and Burnley? Long ball. They need to learn the lesson from. They need to learn a lesson from West Brom. Bit of shots being fired there towards Liverpool's approach and tactics to this game. Sean here says Klopp needs to be questioned a little tonight. Like for like changes and no real changes in approach to that game. Ollie and Arteta would get flamed. Liverpool fans, are you going to come on and question your manager? I wonder. This is your segment here. This is the super chat segment of the show. We always do this early. It's actually dictated by yourselves. LFC fan here, and Chelsea look like champions elect is what Strictly Football says. And I don't think anyone's going to overtly disagree. Chelsea getting through that controversial red card and coming out with that point and reducing Liverpool to nothing is going to hurt Liverpool fans tonight. That 10-man element. You felt that energy going in at half-time. We're going to get them here. We're going to come out second and steamroll them. Staleness. KC, Lukaku is crap. Can't dribble. Awful first touch. Both teams had very bad attacks. And great defenses. Chelsea created nothing except that corner is what KC believes. Chelsea created nothing but that corner is what KC believes. Who's buying into that? Who believes that? Aaron says, credit to Chelsea for shutting us out in the second half. I really felt we should have pushed on to win after being a man up. I believe we will fix up, but needs to happen first. Needs to happen fast is what Aaron has got to say there. We've still got a lot of super chats here. We will go to calls later, but smashing that like button while you're waiting is key. Let's get this stream past at least 1,000 likes tonight, ladies and gentlemen. Let's get it done. Let's get it done here. Still super chats aplenty. KTB says, we beat 13 men tonight, 11 players, the 12th man of the COP, and the ref. And the ref is what he believes there. Let's keep this going. Let's got lovely, great callers backstage. We're going to open up the lines for you very, very soon as well. Edward says, VAR is brilliant and when used correctly. English referees are awful. Taylor was shown a still image instead of the video. Christensen showed Van Dijk levels tonight. Yo, it's Charlotte Strong TV in the house. Not spoke to you in a while. Hope you are well. Says, not going to lie, I'm fuming. Mendy saved us in the second half. Rudiger and Christensen were incredible. Big up Charles Strong TV. Go and subscribe to that channel right now, ladies and gentlemen. Chelsea were already superior with a back three defense, but then they changed to a 5-3-1 formation. It was going to be even more difficult to score. You'll never walk alone, is what's being said. I hope I haven't missed any of the other. I want to make sure I don't miss any super chats tonight as best I can. iTest Merchant says, defensive resilience. This is why we are champions of Europe. We saw the pedigree of Chelsea tonight. We really, really did in the way in which they defended. Anfield 12th man is what Madman said. I need to speak about the Anfield 12th man as well. We know it's real. We know when Anfield is rocking, it helps them. 20, 25 minutes in, The noise I heard from Anfield was one of worry and panic. And not because they couldn't have turned the game round, but the fans recognized the brilliance of Chelsea. And it was literally final balls. It was legitimately final balls in Liverpool's final third that cost them going 2 or 3-0 up in this game. Lukaku having just some of them moments again tonight, tackling himself, not really at his absolute best. But you could sense it from the Anfield crowd that Chelsea are the real deal. And Chelsea have, by the way, played one of their hardest games of the season tonight. One of the hardest games of the season tonight. Man City away is probably is on par with it. That's it. One of their hardest 2 games of the season gone. They got a point. It's a very good result. VVD bodied Lukaku. Don't twist the facts is what Sean says here. Saying he bodied him. What do you think, ladies and gentlemen? I want your thoughts. I want your feelings. I want your opinions. This is my stream, but it is your show. Man like Monster here says it's not real. It's a myth. Monster, listen, do you know what I say about it? When it's pot rocking at Anfield, it is rocking. I've been there. It is intense. It is intimidating. But good teams can silence it. And Chelsea did that for large parts tonight. Jorginho marshaled the midfield. He dragged cover and M19. C says Anfield's 12th man tonight was Anthony Taylor. Zubair says that was never a red card. Happy with my team's performance and defense. That's the reason we're champions of Europe into the next game. We're going to start going to callers. We will get the panel on a little bit later on tonight. Remember, I'm going to share the link in a few moments for you to come on and have your say. We do want to hear from fans tonight. Keep those comments coming. Keep smashing the like button. Get those super chats into us. We respect every single one of them. They really keep the football terrace going, and we really need your support as always. Daniel here, one of our members, says people expecting us to attack with 10 men are hilarious. I mean, you could argue, though, that Chelsea actually had the best chance to win the game. Well, 2. Lukaku's effort that was blocked by Matip. And when Kovacic, anybody but Kovacic, doesn't score goals, right? Going in on goal, you had 2 gilt-edged chances to win that game, or very good chances to win that game. I felt more so than what Liverpool did. There's a lot of long-range efforts that Mendy kept out. But I don't remember, and you guys will have to remind me what happened. But on tonight's show, we are talking a number of things. We have got to, of course, talk about the most controversial moment, I would say, of the Premier League season so far. The handball and the red card of Reece James, him being dismissed. Liverpool getting themselves that equaliser and getting back into this match. I want to know whether you think the referee was fair. I saw a lot of Chelsea fans asking why Fabinho wasn't being booked. Many fouls in the middle. The Chelsea fans feel like they were hard done by tonight in terms of that. Liverpool fans, why couldn't you beat Chelsea? Why couldn't you break them down? 2 and 3-0 predictions last night on Friday night on the terrace. You're up against 10 men. You couldn't break them down. I need to understand, and I want to know why. We're going to start going into calls first. Everyone's going to have 2 or 3 minutes to have their say. Then we're going to get the panel on a little bit later. We'll help select the panel by your reaction to the best callers. That's what we want. And then remember, the final segment tonight coming up later on, so stay tuned. You're going to learn who is taking the L tonight, who's taking my L. Every single match reaction show for the big games now, we're doing who takes the L. And I'm going to be presenting to you who the biggest loser from this game is. It might be a player, could be a manager, it could be a team, it could be a ref. We're going to be going into that. So stay here. Don't go anywhere else. Calls are coming right about now. Still got them super chats coming here. Gabrielle says should have been 3-0 up before the pen. Pen was debatable, but no intent. The red card was technically right. Nevertheless, Chelsea got a point away. It's a Chelsea win is what Gabrielle says. And I think I think a lot of people would agree with the sentiment in that. I think a lot of people agree with the sentiment of what you're saying. Juan here says, Terry, I finally saw what David says about Mount. His final third decisions are bad. We are also going to talk Lukaku watch tonight as well. We've got to do a Lukaku watch, what people thought of his performance. Daniel here says Bobby Firmino is a bum, is what Daniel believes. A lot of people going for Bobby tonight. I think he came off injured as well. What frustrated me the most in the first half was how selfish Mount and Havertz were at times. R9's catching on, you know. R9 on 2 occasions. All he needs was a through ball, is what man like Zubair thinks there. Listen, we're going to go to those calls. We're going to hear what some people have got to say. I'm going to share the link in just a moment for you to give us a bell, for you to give us your thoughts and feelings. Smash that like and share button. Let's do this, people. And by the way, that's one of the new emojis. Members, you've got that emoji. The new Arsenal emoji's in there, the new Chelsea emoji's in there, the new Liverpool emoji's in there. But you've got my face. My gorgeous, stunning, godlike chiseled face on your screens if you want it. Let's do this. Let's start the calls, people. Let's go. Liverpool fan Hussam is here with us. Liverpool 1, Chelsea 1. Give me your thoughts, mate.
Very disappointed with the result, obviously. Playing 45 minutes against a 10-man team. Chelsea 100%, let me just say from Chelsea's perspective, 100% deserved the draw. They fought their asses off there on the pitch. They 100% deserved that draw. They fought tooth and nail for it. They gave it their all. They were very compact. They played very smart. Jorginho winning fouls, Kovacic, playing smart. I would argue that they probably had the more dangerous chance than we did in the second half with Kovacic's shot. And with us, Terry, remember the first time we met, I said Chelsea are favourites, and I said the reason for it is our squad depth. And this is the exact thing I mean when I say our squad depth is not good enough, because we always get told, as people who try to criticize the club or criticize the club spending, you don't know more than Klopp, you don't know more than FSG. This is the exact thing we're talking about. We need someone to come off the bench and make an impact, which we do not have. Apparently, Klopp says Ox has some things you can't buy in the transfer market. Origi is a game changer, blah, 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 blah. Both of them didn't even come on. Minamino at this point probably is just a marketing stunt from the club. We don't actually have anyone on the bench to come on and make an impact. If me and you sat before this game and made the Chelsea-Liverpool combined 11, we would have probably had more Liverpool players in there. But if we made a bench combined 11, not one single player on the bench from our team makes it to that combined 11. And this is the exact problem. Squad depth is not good enough in the long run to win the league. This scenario will happen plenty of times, Terry. Forget the red card, forget everything. We'll be 1-1, but there's no one on the bench to come on and make an impact. This is why we wanted Saul. This is why we wanted Adoku, Vlahovic, players to come on, make an impact. So today is literally a scenario you can expect throughout the season, simply because our squad is not good enough. But Terry, I said and I guaranteed Lukaku is not going to score at Anfield. I said it. And 11 men or 10 men, both halves, Lukaku made no significant impact whatsoever. He was pocketed by Van Dijk and Matip just like I expected. And actually, Matip played a bit better than Van Dijk, in my opinion. Both of them dealt with him with ease. He offered nothing to the game. Like, I don't even remember. The only moment I remember is the pass to Kovacic, but that's about it. But besides that, throughout the entire game, they had him on lock and Lukaku offered nothing. So all the stock for him changing, all he did was lose 5 kilograms and come back to England. So I'm not buying this whole changed new Lukaku thing. So, that's at least one thing I can take away from today's game as a positive.
Mate, listen, I hear you on that. We're going to get you on with the panel a little bit later on. Top man, go backstage for me and we'll speak to you in a bit. Thank you. Till here says, I predicted 0-0. That's what I watched. Havertz's goal was luck. Liverpool's goal was a penalty at home. Negative football won't work against Manchester United. A Man United fan here, really giving it large. Kante made better decisions in the final third than our front three on the most part. We will get it together, though. Come on, you Blues. Should have been 3 in the first half. Next caller on the show with me. Thank you for them super chats, ladies and gentlemen. If you're watching on Facebook, smash the like buttons. Facebook is catching YouTube on likes here. Facebook is catching YouTube on likes. So that you don't want to get beat by the Arsenal fans earlier. Neither you want to get beat by the Arsenal fans or the City fans earlier. So smash the like button. Let's make this stream trend, ladies and gentlemen. Next caller on the show I'm going to is going to be Matt. Matt is, of course, a Chelsea fan. Give me your thoughts, mate.
Today, unfortunately, is not a good evening. Personally, obviously we all know this referee situation. Our attack could not get anywhere. People were saying Lukaku shit. Did anyone watch the game? We played defensive. We had 10 people at the back. Obviously, Lukaku couldn't do anything. But besides that, I'm happy with the draw, but I think if we possibly put Werner on, we could have got the win. But again, you know, we're down to 10 men. We're against a top six team, so I'm very happy with that. Mendy, absolutely outstanding performance. Christensen as well. Alonso. Every single Chelsea fan was doubting him, but he did fantastic. I loved his effort he did. Unfortunately, there was a miss-up between Mendy and Alonso, but personally, when you're in a game, when you've got that atmosphere, when you've got that pressure on you, you have to go for the header. If you don't know what I'm talking about, that was leading up to the penalty, to the goal where Alonso and Mendy both went to head the ball or catch it, and unfortunately slipped out of Mendy's hand because of Alonso's header. So, again, a lot of great performance we saw from Chelsea. You know, Chalobah came on as well to play a CDM role, so we saw that from him. So a great developing that we did, but I still think we could have taken the win.
I understand that. I need to ask you the controversial handball, the red card. What was your take on it? Did you think that it was the correct decision to send Reece James off?
100% not. A penalty, we can definitely dictate it. We can definitely have a chat about that penalty. But a red card, there is no way. As everyone knows, he looked at it for 3 seconds. Not even 3 seconds. He didn't even look at it. I do not see how that is a red card at all. Not even. I don't think that's even a yellow. And if you look at the rules, and everyone knows we've been 3 years, every week the rule changes. Apparently, whatever ref we have, it changes. If it hits the post, hits something else, and then it goes to your hand, we know it's not a handball. But I guess because it was on the line, you know, it was going to go in. The hand did obviously move the ball. It could have been a penalty. But for a red card, there is no way Anthony Taylor gave this man a red card. He's done this for us 4 times. 4 times. It's a disgrace. This man needs to get sacked. I'm sorry, he needs to get sacked. I mean, even if there is a second one, but
did you feel hard done by the referee? A lot of Chelsea fans on socials were talking about, you know, for Fabinho in the middle not being booked, Liverpool getting away with a lot of fouls. Did you feel like the referee was siding with Liverpool tonight?
Personally, there was a bit, but I wouldn't say that it was over the top. Like, yes, Fabinho had that same when he clipped. I don't know exactly whose foot it was, but the same thing happened to Kovacic in the Arsenal FA Cup final, and Kovacic got a red card for that with the same ref. So that's the only thing I was upset about. But he was very obviously biased to Chelsea, as everyone knows. Like, he's always biased to Chelsea. He hates Chelsea. And this is his first Prem game, and he comes back and he does this. So it's an absolute disgrace. Definitely not a red for Reece James, and it's just dropped his confidence. Like, this man's a young kid. He's had, I think, 2 assists and 1 goal, if I'm not mistaken, in the 3 games he's played. So this man's been on fire, and now to drop his confidence like that, shambolic, honestly.
Fair enough. Matt, thanks for coming on the show and giving us your thoughts and feelings, mate. Top man. Thank you. I have shared the link now, ladies and gentlemen, in the live comment section. I will pin that up as well. So if you want to phone up and have your say, that has been posted. If you're watching on Facebook, that will be in the comment section. If you're watching on Twitter, that should also appear as a comment. If not, then join us over here on YouTube and get that done. If you want to come on and have your say. Next on the show, Liverpool fan here. Star last night of Friday night on the terrace. We've got man like Rak in the house to come and have his say. Hit that like and share button. Let's do it, people. Let's go. Rak's here. I need to go straight into this. I saw you backstage. Was it or was it not a red card and a penalty, Rak?
Look, the ball hits Reece's thigh and is going into the goal. If it's going into the goal and an arm stops it, that's a red card. I don't see what's controversial. Just because the referee spent 3 seconds looking at 1 second, looking at 10 seconds, looking. The rule is if you stop the ball going into the goal with your arm, regardless, unfortunately from Chelsea's perspective, it's a goal, it's a penalty, and it's a red card. Like, this is not rocket science. I don't really understand what the controversy is. If you're scoring a goal with your hand, that's entirely different. That's not the same scenario. I think we saw it. Was it Llorente score a goal similar to score a goal that went off his hand against City in the Champions League a few years ago? That's a different story. You're gaining an advantage by using your hand. That's not the same thing. So yeah, I don't know. Personally, I think that's a bit of a people who either don't know the rules, don't understand football, or a combination of the two.
There's a comment here. This is from Charlotte Strong, who says it's not a red card. Fabinho had fouls, No card when Salah kicked the ball away either. Do you understand Chelsea fans feel hard done by tonight? The referee wasn't fair in dishing out cards and refereeing the game within the letter of the law. You know, we saw Matip have his moment of dissent after giving away a foul. You know, do you understand where Chelsea fans are coming from? They feel they didn't get the rub of the green tonight.
Look, Anthony Taylor. What do Liverpool fans think to Anthony Taylor? You mank bastard. They don't think he by no means favours Liverpool. So I don't know where this nonsense is coming from. It's totally unsubstantiated. It's an opinion. Okay, maybe Matip should have got a yellow card. Maybe Salah should have got a yellow card. That doesn't change the fact that James should have been sent off. Like, this is crazy. I don't know. I some people are having a logic bypass. At the same time, I'll say Chelsea got the moral victory. At the end of the day, the game was there for us to win, and I didn't think we did enough to win it. And so I'll give them. Yesterday I said on the show, look, if Chelsea come to Anfield and they prove it, I'll give them credit, and I'll give them credit today because they got the draw in difficult circumstances. I respect them for that. Fair enough, but it's a red card, and you know, at the end of the day, we didn't lose, and I'm happy that we put on a decent performance. First off, I think probably Chelsea shaded it, but you know, we live to fight another day. So did Chelsea. Honours even.
And just want to ask you on that: how disappointed were you though that you couldn't break down the 10 men?
Yeah, very disappointed. I felt Thiago should have come on earlier. I know he hasn't really played very much, but Thiago in the first game of last season when we played Chelsea, when he came on at halftime, he really helped us. Helped us stretch Chelsea and made a positive impact. He has just come back to train relatively recently, so that may be the reason. But I would have still brought him on earlier, perhaps on the 55th, 60th minute. So I think we left it a little bit too long. But yeah, big up Chelsea. They did what they needed to do in the circumstances. Fair enough. And yeah, we got the draw. We played okay, and it's disappointing it's always disappointing to draw at home at Anfield because we always look to win those games. But it is what it is.
There we go. Rak, thanks for coming on, mate, and giving us your
Yep.
opinions, mate. Speak to you again soon, and thanks for coming last night as well. Appreciate it.
Yeah, thanks so much for the invitation. Sorry I didn't get a chance to say bye, but yeah, we'll do it again sometime.
You know, I have to work so much after. It's much better in the studio than it is via YouTube at the minute, isn't it? Like, I feel so bad that the technology isn't making it work because in the studio, it's buzzing. Listen, mate, thanks very much, mate. We'll speak to you again soon. Top man.
Okay,
Thank you very much. Drew Devil here says this was the best result for the league. If United win tomorrow, they're just 1 point between all four of us. It was the result I wanted. Of course, neutrals, it's absolutely a great result. Anita here, Queen Anita, says best manager in the league. I'm so sure of it now. The response from Tuchel was absolutely amazing. We've still got David, safe as in the proper safe, not the weird safe, to come on. Conroy's backstage, Jem's backstage, Prime's backstage. We are going to hear from everybody tonight. We will bring the panel on later to go into some of these debates in more detail where they can challenge one another. I have some super chats to do here. I'm struggling to keep up because you are such wonderful people. All hell breaks loose when they come to Stamford Bridge. Daniel says Liverpool aren't winning the league. Firmino. Look, Liverpool need to buy more players if they're going to win the league. I've been saying it all along. Terry, it's a red. That game was a fair game. Now, I've got to go through the rules here. So the rules state, the laws state, they're not called rules, they're called laws, okay? That when a player denies a goal or a clear goal-scoring opportunity deliberately, it's a red card. That is the law. It's undeniable, undebatable. However, there are bylaws to this. So, as an example, and now this is where it comes down to interpretation, the law has changed so that if players committing an accidental foul or handball that deny goal-scoring opportunities are not automatically sent off, but cautioned instead. So this comes down to whether or not you think Reece James meant it or not. So I still think there's a debate to be had. A lot of people are just throwing out the base law. They're doing the basic bitch layer one thing of like, the law says denying a goal-scoring opportunity. It's whether, I've said it all along. So I was tweeting it. No, I didn't tweet it. I said it in a WhatsApp group that it's about whether or not you think it was accidental. I understand the controversy. There was the hand movement. I know why Chelsea fans are angry. Why didn't the referee just look at the footage in real time and in slow motion? I understand the challenge. We want you to come on and have your say in relation to that. Smash that like and that share button, people. If I missed a super chat, I apologize. I think I've got another one here from my guy, Mansour. Sorry, not Mansour, Mohammed, who says Chelsea got lucky in the second half. It could have been 4 or 5 from Liverpool. Chelsea fans thinking they have already won the league. They need to chill. We missed this comment. I found it. He says, no one is saying he favours Liverpool. Anything, Taylor despises Chelsea regardless of who we play. An old break here says, kicking the ball away is a card, but the law. Next on the show, Charles Strong TV is in the house. Smash that like and share button, people. I think this is going to be explosive. Welcome
Hello.
back. Hey, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Very, very well. I know you've got something to say. Get it off your chest.
I mean, I was doing a watch along and I actually lost my shit with it. I was fuming. Like, fact is, if we're going by the laws of it, like, I was fuming at the fact that it touched his knee first, and by law, it's not a red card if it bounces from your knee to your hand. But I also understand the fact that it was obviously blocking a goal. But fact is, it wasn't intentional. Like, it bounced from his knee. Like, he can't be like, oh, it's bounced from my knee. Let me, like, not let it touch my arm. If it bounces from your knee, you never know where it's going to go. So I think also the frustration on my part was that Anthony Taylor just took, like, 2 seconds to look at a freeze frame. He didn't even watch the replay. He didn't even watch it back in slow motion. He didn't even look at the effects. He literally just took, there was a screenshot, which is not, VAR is supposed to be used in a useful way. That was being used in a way that looked like Anthony Taylor was on Liverpool's side. It made it look like, and the fact that Salah, when he kicked the ball away, that was just shoved off. Fabinho had like 2 yellow card opportunities, one wasn't given. The corner that it didn't bounce off Mount, that wasn't given as a corner, that was given as a goal kick. Like, there's so many things that lead up to Chelsea fans' frustration that it's annoying. Like, there are so many things that Anthony Taylor did wrong that shouldn't have been done. Like, I think, especially with the VAR, like, at least look like you care about looking. At least care like you want to look. Because he just looked like, yeah, okay, bye. They can just have, like, a red card. Like, I was shocked. Like, you blatantly saw that Reece James didn't mean for it to happen. Like, and I just think it's really appalling that it's happened in this situation, because if we're going to be factual here, if we had 11 men, Liverpool would be crying because they would have lost. That Liverpool are lucky. But fact is, we have another match coming. It's okay. We have 2 matches against you, and we'll see you at Stamford Bridge where there's no Anthony Taylor, and you can cry your hearts out when we're done. But until then, like, remember, you drew with us. You couldn't beat us. On 10 men, you couldn't beat us. So all these Liverpools being like, you're champions of Europe. Yeah, but you couldn't beat 10 men champions of Europe. So let's all pipe down. You know, you couldn't beat us at 10 men. That's okay. Jurgen Klopp can go cry himself a river. Because, like, I'm sorry, without Mendy, we would be in trouble. Mendy was phenomenal. He saved our asses so many times. Rudiger, Christensen, Aspie, they were phenomenal. Thiago Silva at that last minute, in the 90th minute, where he slowed the ball down enough for Mendy to be able to catch it before Mane got it. That was phenomenal. Like, our defence, however much, like, they had made some mistakes, they actually saved us. Like, they really did. Like, they did us a service, and we need to respect that. Christensen absolutely deserved man of the match. So did Mendy, so did Rudiger, so did Aspie, and so did Thiago Silva. You know, the whole team, like, they were phenomenal. And I think without our defence, like, we would have been in trouble. But, I mean, Anthony Taylor really needs to check himself. He needs to go look in the mirror and be like, you know, hun, I messed up. I really did. I messed up my life. I need to reevaluate myself. VAR got me bad. I need to, like, check myself. I need to come into the next game with, like, my tail between my legs and, like, being like, I messed up. Because you can't... A picture paints 1,000 different images to what a video does. And that is my issue, is that a video shows you the full story. A picture just shows you a clip of an image or a story that you've seen. It doesn't show you the full effect. And that's what's frustrating.
Listen, I totally understand. I understand your frustration. Liverpool fans, of course, disagreeing with you in the comments. Most Chelsea fans backing you there. Shah, listen, thank you for all your support you give the Terrace, by the way, and for coming on and having your say. I really appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you for having me.
No worries. Take care. Thank you very, very much. Listen, you may disagree. Phone up. Have your say. The link is pinned. Come and chat. Come and put your money where your mouth is. I can't. People ask me to ban some people in the chat. I've got moderators for that. They know what they can and can't ban people for. I can't concentrate on that and listen to people at the same time. But yes, we're listening to you. The moderators are now looking at it. We're gonna go to a Liverpool fan next. We are bringing the panel out later. So this show is only just. I'm gonna sound like the Carpenters here. It's only just begun. Got the panel to come soon. We've got Terry's, as in me. I'm talking about myself in the third person. Terry's conclusion to this game by who takes the L tonight. Make sure that like button has been smashed. By the way, Facebook, you're closing in on YouTube. You're 200 likes away from catching YouTube. Smash it, Facebook, and share the stream. And by the way, you've killed YouTube for shares. You've shared it 87 times, which is amazing. So thank you. And that's how you defend with 10 men. Would have been happy with 3 points, but I don't think we would have been so proud as I am right now. What grit. I hear what you're saying there. Next on the show, Safe is with us. Safe is a Liverpool fan. Give me your thoughts on Liverpool's performance tonight, mate.
What are you saying, Terry? So, do you know what? At the beginning of the game, I was really happy because I think Chelsea are probably like the biggest threats this season to obviously that title race. But as the game went on, obviously red card and everything, the expectation suddenly becomes a lot higher. And the fact that we had, I think, 24 shots or something like that, really need to get a goal. Like, this is one of the biggest opportunities we've had, and it's games like this that are going to really affect us towards the end of the season. But I mean, I think a lot of Liverpool fans out there, to be honest, are being like babies. They don't remember what it's like to be a club going through difficult times. And just because we've had a lot of success recently, the bar's really high at the moment. I've seen so many fans talking about we need to buy this player, buy that player. We're not Man United, for example, who are trying to rebuild a squad. We're Liverpool. Like, we've got quite a well-built squad. We don't need to go buying these massive players here and there. But sorry about the game. I'm quite content, to be honest, because I know before the game I would have been happy with a draw, and we haven't lost, which was.
Can I ask you a question? Did you feel as a Liverpool fan? I heard it in the crowd. There seemed to be this sense of Chelsea are really good. Did you feel that watching that, like you were really up against it?
Yeah, definitely. Do you know, like, I actually tweeted it during the game that Anfield was shockingly quiet, because all of the season before COVID, I went to all the home games and it was just so much passion and everything in the ground. And there were moments like watching it from TV today that I could only hear Chelsea fans. And I'm not sure if that was just the nail-biting edge of Chelsea being such a threat to us, but it was just a bit concerning because, I mean, Liverpool are very well known for their 12th man. And I wouldn't say it was so much missing today, but it definitely wasn't at its best.
No, I hear that. And what's your take? Obviously, a lot of Liverpool fans calling for the Chelsea fans calling for the referee's head. Do you feel that? What was your take on that big controversial penalty?
So in general, I'm not the biggest fan of Anthony Taylor, but that was such a bait penalty. I know, even though he looked at a picture and whatnot, you watch the video, his hand was behind his back and he's moved it across the front of his chest as the ball's come off his thigh. I think it's quite an obvious penalty. I know if it was given against me, I'd be annoyed and I would be biased towards the fact that whatever it is, but it's a penalty. Like, there's no way about it.
There we go. Stay backstage for us, mate. We'll get you back on the panel soon. Top man. Thank you. Next up on the show, David is here. Actually, no, he waited ages earlier and I couldn't get him on. Ladamus Prime. Sorry, David. David looks so angry backstage. No, Ladamus Prime deserves to come on here and have his say. He's back with us. What are you saying, laddie?
Hi. This game, I think a draw is fair. I said that beforehand. It's going to be a thing where I guess we both cancel each other out. Can I just say, Andreas Christensen and Antonio Rudiger, two players that I give a lot of stick because, you know, I'm always skeptical about them. I never think they're good enough. Tonight they were today they were absolutely sublime. They didn't put a foot wrong. Christensen, in my opinion, deserves man of the match. I know it's tough to say because it's just one game, I guess, but I'm going to stop questioning them. I'm just going to let them do their thing and let them perform because they've been performing since January when Tuchel came in, and I was a bit skeptical and blind towards it. In terms of the penalty, I don't know what Chelsea fans are really complaining about. Like what the letter of the law says, the ball hits if the ball hits your hand, or if there's a handball in the box, it is a penalty, especially since it was on the line. I know it's ball to hand technically, not handball, but still, it's what the law says. It's the same way in the Champions League final. Mane kicks the ball at Sissoko's hand. It's technically not a handball, but because it's in the box, it counts as a handball and it is a penalty, if that makes sense. So I don't necessarily see what the complaining is about. But in the second half, I love the way we defended. We were resolute. Liverpool got in behind, maybe a few times. But if this is truly, they're a great team and they've got all these amazing world-class players, they don't need to add anyone to it. This, in my opinion, is a disappointing result for Liverpool. They should have been able to beat us if this is true towards what their fans always say, and they couldn't. In terms of us, if we can keep performing like this in big games especially and take this forward, we should be able to win the league.
I hear you on that. Listen, Prime, top man, thanks for coming on and having your say. Really appreciate it, my brother, and speak to you again soon. Still lots of people disagreeing with one another. A lot of people asking me to go. I've read the law out. I mean, I've got the law right in front of us right now on the screen. I have all this stuff ready. Where a player denies the opposing team a goal or obvious goal scoring opportunity by a handball offense, the player is sent off whenever the offense occurs. But what you have to reckon into this is whether or not people feel that it was a handball. If it's accidental, is it handball? Therefore, if you don't think it's handball, then you don't think that law applies. There is still a debate to be had. We will see, and this is where the controversy comes around. There'll be another handball in another area of the pitch or another penalty box in the next week where it ricochets into someone's hand, and people will say, how comes it wasn't given? That's why we debate it, and we have it out here. Next on the show, David's with us. He is desperate to come on and have his say. David's here, ladies and gentlemen. Let's see what we're doing. Lukaku watch with David as well. Lukaku watch coming up right now on the terrace. Facebook is literally 50 likes behind YouTube. They're catching you with a vengeance. With a vengeance on Facebook. What's your response going to be, YouTube? Let's do this with David.
It's the reason why I'm annoyed because I'm at my mate's house. So literally, I'm on my phone. It's the most makeshift thing. I'm in this room. So, but yeah, it was a good game. I'm happy. I'll take it.
I need to ask you about the controversial things. I'm going to ask you about the penalty in a minute. The first thing I need to speak to you about is Lukaku. How impressed or unimpressed were you with him with his performance tonight?
I thought he did quite well, considering I thought in the first half he linked up play quite well. Unfortunately, he couldn't find the pass. Our front three, all of them, like every single player, every attacker player at Chelsea, they need to work on their decision making because they were literally in that first half before the red card. We should have literally had 3 goals. I know it doesn't show up on the XG because we didn't actually complete the pass and we didn't get the shot off. But like that, you can go back and look. Mason Mount probably should compete a part. Havertz scored a fantastic goal. Everyone calling it luck, individual brilliance, whatever you want to call it. Cool, it's a goal. There's literally a point where Mason Mount should cut it back to Havertz, but that's by the by. We got our goal. It was really good. Lukaku really held up the ball quite well, even with the 10 men. When 5 Liverpool defenders were around him, he held the ball up, got our attackers up the pitch, and he gave us those 5-10 minutes of just respite in the middle of the half. So I thought overall we had a good game. I literally said I don't have a problem with Lukaku as the player. It's just the price. And right now, I think he's proven that he's really improved in the Serie A. So I'll take it.
Yeah, I understand that. And what was your take on, of course, the biggest, the most controversial moment tonight? The handball, the red card. I know you're a stickler for the law. What's your take?
I can see both sides. I can definitely see why Chelsea fans are upset. I can see why Liverpool fans are upset. Personally, for me, my point of the argument is that I'm not sure whether it's actually a penalty because the ball's like when you look at the replay, the ball's hit his thigh, it's bounced up and hit his arm, and then it's the second movement. I can see why it's been given, but I feel like that's kind of when you slow it down, it looks like he's flinged it. I just say that's motion because if the ball's hit his arm and he's trying to nudge it forward and he's gone with his shoulder, of course his body's going to have to move forward as well. That's where my problem with it is. But the fact he gave the handball, it had to be a red card. That's not my problem with it. I just think I don't think it should have been a pen anyway, especially for the fact that they didn't give it in the first place. If Andy Taylor had gone for it straight away, then he thinks it's a handball. But I thought this year they were going to be a bit more relaxed with it and so on. But I can definitely see both sides. I'm not fuming about it. But imagine having, you know, the magic of Anfield behind you, a team with 10 men, got the best centre back in the league, best attack in the league, best attacker who's ever graced the Premier League, along with Thierry Henry, and you still can't beat Chelsea. I'm just saying, you should be quite embarrassed. You should be.
There we go. David, thanks for coming on, mate. I know you're a busy man tonight. Take care of yourself, bro. Have a good time. Speak to you soon, mate. Thank you very much indeed. Make sure that like button's being smashed and YouTube's pulled away. You're 150 likes in front now. I love you guys. Jason here says, if there was no VAR, Anthony Taylor wouldn't have given a pen. This is true. What I was saying is this. I felt he should have, if he's going to watch the footage, watch the footage. Watch it from a couple of angles in real time and slow-mo. Slow motion could always make certain things look better or worse. Real time can make them look better or worse. So watch both. Watch it a couple of times. I'm not into this notion of making these decisions super quick. I think that is the worst thing that we've pushed as football fans. You want time to be taken so people are sure. He just sort of, the way he did it, it was like, I don't know who the meme was. Is that the meme of Bill Crosby where he's like, and then comes back? That's what it reminded me of. He just sort of went, and then was back. That's all he did. I understand the fury. I really do. Right, next on the show, next caller, and then we're bringing out the panel. Next caller, then the panel's coming out. We're going to get CFC Gem, man like Gemini, married man, big head. The panel's coming out after that. KJ's on the panel. Okay, Safe's on the panel. Hussam's on the panel. Combro's on the panel. And then we're going to be taking calls from Monsor, Connor, Brandon, Abs, and all them, man. Winter Surfers backstage. Oi, brother. All coming on to have their say tonight. Smash that. This is the best place to be right now. You don't be nowhere else. You don't go nowhere else. You got my conclusion coming up later as well. By the way, if you're a brand new member, that emoji, that one there, that's available now. You can have my face as an emoji. Can you imagine? Look, Ma, I made it. I got an emoji. It's good, isn't it? Smash that like and share button. Gems here, people. What you saying, bruv?
Where do I start?
Hang on.
With this one, mate?
He's
All right.
married now. He's in a new bedroom. Bedroom. There you go, mate. Now listen, bruv. Yeah, go on. Give me your thoughts and feelings.
Listen. What a performance by my team, Chelsea Football Club, especially in that second half. Yeah, up against 13-man Liverpool. 13-man Liverpool. Yeah, that team, right? I'm telling you now, they're not title contenders. Not us. I'm talking about Liverpool. They're not title contenders. These lot, right? I've heard Liverpool fans giving it when they're coming on here, coming on saying, oh, you know, Lukaku, you know, oh, no, Lukaku, you know, we kept him quiet. We told you this would happen. Matip, Van Dijk, woo. Where was Mo Salah this game? Where was Sadio Mane this game? Where was Firmino this game? And where was Jota this game? You guys were the guys that came out in the second half with your 11 men and your best team possible on that pitch, and including who Rak was talking about Friday, Thiago, who came on and done fuck all as well. Yeah, you man are the guys that had to come out against us. Yeah, us. Yeah, and this is why I'm going to say it. They're not title contenders. They're not good enough. They're not going to beat Man United. They're not going to beat Man City, and they're definitely not going to beat us at home. And I'm being honest, honestly. And the thing with this whole thing with the Reece James situation, yeah, for me, it's by the letter of the law, it's a penalty, cool, but it's harsh and it's wrong. I don't agree with it. It hit his thigh, bounces up, and then ricochets off his arm. How are you meant to understand where that ball's going to move? This is the thing. I don't think this image does it justice, because that image makes it look like he's stopping it going in the goal with his arm. But if you go a second forward on this, you'd see clearly that it hits his leg and bounces up and then falls in his arm. All right, he moves forward. What do you want him to do? Tie his arm behind his back when he's trying to keep his balance while he's trying to keep the ball off the line? I'm sorry, there's an argument to be said about it. And Anthony Taylor, yeah, he can go and do one. I'm telling you, he honestly, Fabinho, they want to talk about the letter of the law, Terry. Yeah, they want to talk about the letter of the law. Fabinho in the first half had 3 bookable offences, and they were all yellow cards. He should have been off the pitch. He shouldn't even been on the pitch. Mo Salah kicks the ball away, doesn't even get a yellow card. And these lot, like, come on. And they're going to sit there and say to us, oh, we're moaning about a red card. Cool. You want to talk about the letter of the law? Then the letter of the law clearly should have stated that Fabinho, even in the second half, He was doing disgusting tackles, and he still didn't get booked. Still didn't get booked. At the end of the day, I'm happy with the point at Anfield, because for me, it's a step in the right direction. It was a question mark of our football club to see whether or not we could play against a team in a different formation with a man down in a hard stadium. And we got through it. We got through it in flying colours, and we deserved that point. And if anything, in that first half, if we'd have had 11 men on the pitch, we would have beat them. They wouldn't have won that game. They had no answer for us at the end of the day. So say what you like. I'm proud of my team tonight.
There we go. Panel time, ladies and gentlemen. Smash the like and share button. The only show on the internet that gives you this caliber of football knowledge, opinion, rawness, realness, and you may not like everyone's opinion, but at least I give them a chance to speak. Think about that. Let's go. Panel time, baby. Woo! I just about got everybody in. I think I got everybody in. I got everyone. Cool. I probably need an extra second or two there. Do you know what I mean? I've always been saying that my whole life. Welcome, everyone. Obviously, Conroy's here. KJ, haven't really spoken yet, but we've got to jump into some of the big subjects of tonight. I know everyone's had their own personal says here. The biggest one we have to start with is it's the penalty. It's the penalty decision. It's the red card decision. I want to go to the first neutral of the show tonight, KJ. Give me your thoughts, bro. Was it a penalty?
Yes, it was. It was a pen. And listen, Chelsea fans, I know you're going to be, but he hit his arm. And then, yes, I understand. Listen, when the ball bounces off his arm, it hit off his thigh, bounced off his arm. Cool. That is not, to me, that wasn't the pen situation. That wasn't a pen. It's as soon as he did that, because he kind of like bounced up and then went on his arm again. As soon as he moved his arm forward and scooped the ball out, that's when it became a penalty. So I know people are saying, if it's accidental, then it's not a pen. The first instance, that's not a penalty. That's the accidental part. But what happens afterwards is that scooping motion made it a penalty, therefore made it a red card. So for me, that is fair. If he had literally not moved his arm forward, it would have been fine. It wouldn't have been a pen, and game goes on. But that it's the motion. It's that forward motion. And this is not an indictment on Reece James. I don't think most players in that situation could stop themselves doing that because it's a natural instinct. But that motion happened and therefore made it a red.
I hear you on that. I hear you. Conroy, I was a Liverpool fan. I mean, do you agree with KJ, or do you think Chelsea were a little bit hard done by?
Well, I don't understand how can we say it's the letter of the law and then it's harsh. It's either one or the other. If it's the letter of the law, it's correct. That's it. That's how rules are enforced. I just feel like sometimes we're always looking for something to complain about. Fair enough, Anthony Taylor didn't have a good performance. He's had a lot of poor performances. We felt that as well, but it's a penalty. Like, you look at it from the opposite point of view. If he doesn't give that, I think there would be even more scrutiny. I think it's a penalty. And it's like, if there's a problem that it's a red card, he doesn't mean it, then they need to change the rule. But they're not going to change the rule. Anthony Taylor's not going to look at that and say, we're changing the rule today. Because there needs to be a bit of common sense about it. The referee's job is to enforce the rule. And it's a penalty. Like, it's not me being like, it's not really an opinion. I think it's just straightforward. That's the rule. So that's the decision. There's no debate. Like, rules are not like, they're facts. It's a factual decision, and that's it for me. It's maybe unfortunate for Reece James. I agree with KJ was saying maybe other people would do that, but for me, I was wondering if that was
Also, one quick thing, Terry, as well. I've seen a lot of Chelsea fans, like Charlotte was very annoyed at it. It's like he only took a second to look at the VAR. It was only a second. I get that. I get why you're annoyed at that. But for me, it's like, okay, maybe the wrong part of the handball was locked out to give the decision. But at the end of the day, even if you played it all the way through, the decision would not change. The decision would be the same, and the decision would be correct. So there's no point even complaining about that, in my opinion.
There's a comment here from John that says, pen and card, I accept that. I just don't want to hear rivals cry if it happens to them. We good. We are coming for everything this year. Everything went Liverpool's way, still didn't win. And I do think there's an element of truth within that. Did Anthony Taylor see the same and give the red? Is what Vinay says. Abs here says, can any fan please agree with how Anthony Taylor looked at that screen? Just an image. I didn't think it was an image. I thought it was just like one little slow-mo bit I thought I saw. But
yeah, it was literally one.
He didn't even look. He didn't even look. He didn't run off.
But was it correct? End of discussion. Like, that's it. Like, we keep going on about
Yeah, he
little
didn't need to look
discrepancies.
anyway.
It's a correct decision. It's like clutching at straws sometimes.
So we're
Yeah,
saying,
well, in that case, I just want, like I said to you, I've got no issue with that. I want consistency then, because Fabinho should have had a couple of yellow cards.
Right, but then
Salah
Jim,
should have had-
right, so
where's
what have we
your
been saying at
consistency
Euros?
from our
We
refs
want-
then, if that's the
We
case?
want free-flowing football, right? So free-flowing football. So see, sometimes if a ref's going to not book a player because we keep saying we don't want to be NFL, but then when referees are trying to do that, we're complaining. So do you want it to be stop and start, or do you want it to be free-flowing? Because this is what I'm
He
not sure
fouled
of. It
4 or
seems to be
5
when it's your
times and
team,
got away with it.
it's-
He got away with it
Well,
4 or 5
I know,
times.
but I
in that
agree,
game.
but-
no yellow card.
Right, but he's not going to get sent off if he gets booked. He's not an idiot, Jim. If he gets booked, he's not going to go and do the same challenge, is he? And
Why
I
would he
agree
not?
that might be a mistake, but there's been a few decisions the last couple of weeks that you could say that's a booking, but the refs have been told we're making it more free-flowing. So what do we want? Do you want stop and start, or do you want to
I want
look at it from a
consistency,
neutral
bro.
point of
That
view
is
and
what
stop
I've been
thinking
saying,
about
and not
the
even just with this game. I've always cried out for consistency by referees. I don't think they give us that in this game. That's it.
and look, we're going to throw this out to the viewers here. When you get to, we're going to go to calls in a minute. You want, or any subject you want to speak about, come on and speak about. There's a super chat here though that leads me into the second talking point. And I want to throw this one to Hussein because you pulled on it earlier. People may not have been watching when you said this earlier. It says, why couldn't Liverpool score in open play against Chelsea? Can you please ask the Liverpool fans this? What was wrong with Liverpool tonight? Not, in my opinion, at no point really breaking Chelsea down. Is that a worry? Is it a concern, Hussein? Or is it just a case of you were up against the best team in Europe?
I mean, like, the problem is so many Liverpool fans are just unrealistic. Like, Mane is not 2018 Mane anymore. Firmino is, if we're being completely serious, not good enough as well at this level anymore. Henderson's level is deteriorating just because of his age, which is why we ask for replacements, why we ask for people to make an impact, which is why I've been crying the entire summer for Saul. Unfortunately, it doesn't look like he's coming now. But the lack of creativity, I think I'm saying this, and I don't care how whoever feels. Today, not scoring against Chelsea in the second half was absolutely embarrassing. Playing against 10 men, they were, it was crystal clear. Chelsea just wanted a point, and I don't blame them for it. Congratulations to them. But we should have scored 100%. We didn't create anything dangerous. Their Kovacic opportunity with 10 men was more dangerous than anything we created all the second half. We have no players to make an impact off the bench. We have no players to make a difference. Like, you know, it's these things. Like when Chelsea last won the league, Loic Remy scored a few goals. Like, you always have players to come on the bench, make an impact, make a difference. We don't have anyone who can make an impact or a difference off the bench. And the players we have now, whether people like it or not, they are not of the level they were 2 years ago. People look at Sadio, the likes of Sadio Mane, the likes of Roberto Firmino. They look at them as if it's 2018. People wake up. It's 2021. Mane missed as many chances as Timo Werner last year. That is a scary number. And I think it's basically, this is just an indictment on the team. This is just what we have to deal with now because of Klopp's loyalty, because of us not spending enough money. This is just what we have to do now. So Ox is so dynamic, he didn't come on. Origi is such a game changer, he didn't play. You know, and on all these world-class options we have, apparently, like, don't even come on the pitch. So, you know, it's just what we have to deal with now. Klopp goes into the season with this squad. It's up to him. He knows more than me, but what I don't want then is excuses. Because to me, if we don't win the Premier League or the Champions League this season, I consider it as a failure. That's just my standards.
KJ, I mean, you're hearing that. We very rarely hear that, frankly, from Liverpool fans, in the sense of that forthright about we are not in a mess, but if we don't buy, we are not winning the league. Do you agree? I mean, we're only 3 games into the season, but do you agree, looking at this Liverpool team, that they are just going to fall short if there's no signings between now and 11 p.m. on Tuesday?
100%. I said it before. Like, yes, you can't count Liverpool out because they've got a quality 11, but outside of that, what have they got? Like, I've been screaming since the Super League that FSG are holding Liverpool back. Now, to me, as a United fan, I'm cool with that. You know, don't buy players. You know, keep Origi, keep Ox. I'm here for it. But you're talking about just a natural football fan and looking at it objectively for football. FSG are holding Liverpool back because they still haven't got a backup for Trent. They still haven't got a replacement for Ronaldo. They still need to replace Henderson. You don't need to wait until he's flipping gone to do that. You can do that now. You know what I'm saying? Milner's still at the club. Origi's still at the club. You've just gotten rid of Shaqiri to bring in who to replace him. Like, their bench, you look at their bench, it is sparse. It is not good enough. And why is Klopp having to bring on a left back for a left back to try and win a game? Because his attacking options are whack. Like, I've been screaming about Firmino for time. Mane, literally, ever since he got that new hairline, has gone downhill. You know what I'm saying? Let it go, my brother. Maybe get your powers back. You know what I'm saying? But Liverpool need to invest. And we're not saying go out and spend 50 million every single backup player. But there are deals to be done this season. And personally, I just don't feel Liverpool have taken advantage of the market to get really good up-and-coming players, which they normally do, to help bolster their squad. I'm impressed by Elliott, though. Elliott is looking really good, and I can see him nourishing. But they need more than Elliott. They need more.
Absolutely. Timo Werner's Secret Service, thank you for that lovely super chat, who says, hard to take for us, honestly, gutted, but I'm satisfied with how we played in the second half. And I think some Chelsea fans will probably look at that second half performance against Liverpool and in some respects not be happier than winning, but be more encouraged that resoluteness that we saw last year, the inability for teams to break them down, was still there in abundance at Anfield. With Liverpool attacking the Kop when they were down to 10 men, it's just phenomenal. It really, really is. We're going to go to some calls now. You can speak about whatever you want. Obviously, we're talking about Liverpool. Can they win the league without buying any additional players? Was it a red card for Reece James tonight? Were Chelsea hard done by the referee? We want your thoughts. We want your feelings. We're going to take your calls right about now. The first guy on is going to be Winter Surfer. We've got Connor to come, Slens to come, Monster to come, Brandon to come, and a few more. Hit that like and share button, people. Let's do this. Winter Surfer is here with us now. What do you want to say, mate?
Yeah. I'm pleased with that after the circumstances. Liverpool pathetic throughout the entire game. Hassan, you need to look up the word pocketed because you obviously don't know what it looks like because Lukaku was not pocketed at all. He was robbed of 2 assists, actually. So you need to look up the word pocketed and what it actually means. He won most of the headers it went up for. He made runs that wasn't looked at. Kante should have played him in. He's Matic a few times, did it again to Van Dijk as well. But you really need to look at them pocketed. You have no idea what it means at all. Your guys are pathetic. Your squad is pathetic. The 12th man is pathetic. And I'm just pleased. That is the hardest game we're going to have to face this season away game. And we should have won that. It's our fault.
How have you just gone and called our squad? How have you just gone and called our whole squad pathetic and then just said it's the hardest game?
Pathetic, man. Like you, you have to bring on a left back for a left back. What is that?
But you still went and just called it the hardest game that you're going to have to take.
Thiago Alcon average did nothing again as well. Your midfield did nothing again as well. Jordan Henderson did nothing again as well. Salah scored a penalty, fine, did nothing. Mane did nothing. Firmino looked like he was playing defensive midfielder while he was on. You guys did nothing. We should have been 2 or 3 for the penalty. That's what I'm disappointed in. Penalty's a penalty, fine. Whatever, but
imagine being level with a pathetic team after 3 games, though. That must be horrendous. If
but imagine coming on after Burnley saying you're going to smack us because you've got a 12th man called.
No, I didn't say that. I didn't say that, mate. I just talk about logical football opinion.
Imagine that, though.
How many points are Chelsea on? How many points? 7. We're on 7.
You Liverpool fans are so arrogant, and I just love it. I just love it. You're the most arrogant fan base in the Premier League. You're nothing in Premier League terms. You're no bigger than Leicester or Blackburn Rovers in Premier League. You do know that, right? You do know that, right? You're no bigger. You're no bigger.
You've got a Chelsea fan laughing at you right now.
Bigger. Arsenal are bigger than you in Premier League terms. Please, you've got to know your place. You've got to know your place.
Arsenal.
Your place.
Listen, Winter Surfer.
Average, yeah.
Winter Surfer having his say there. Liverpool fans, what's your response to that? Phone up and have your say. Top man, Winter Surfer. Thank you very, very much indeed. Legend. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut him off then. I didn't know I was going to say something. I sometimes do that. I sometimes exit people as they're about to go. By the way, YouTube, Facebook is doing you. Facebook is now 200 likes in front. 200 likes in front of you, YouTube. Wow. First time ever on a match reaction show on the terrace in conjunction with our friends over at Give Me Sport. Next caller we're going to go to is going to be... We're going to go to Tarap. Tarap's back with us. Liverpool fan, what are you saying?
Mate, we got hustled today. I'm sorry. We got hustled. I blame Jose Mourinho for this. That man has ingrained such a... Am I allowed to... They're such a dirty team, Chelsea. Like, as per Equator, do you know what it is? He's like Sergio Ramos. You want that kind of guy in your team. but you will hate going up against him. He is such a little. Honestly, I'm just so frustrated. Like, I'm so frustrated. We played into their hands. There was no creativeness. And every time they would create a ruckus, they were in our heads. I'm sorry, they were in our heads today. It's all a mental thing. And Mourinho instilled this in the club. That's why I brought up Mourinho. I don't care. Because before that, it didn't happen. But honestly, I'm frustrated today, man.
I hear that. Do you agree with what Hussein was saying earlier? When you look at your club here, do you need to now go and invest between now and Tuesday at 11 p.m. to win this league, in your opinion?
I didn't expect us to win the league this season anyway. If it happens, then that means, we've done a great job. But if we don't make signings, no. If we do make signings, 100%. That's just the way I see it. So basically, if we don't make signings, we won't win it, no.
I hear you on that.
That's my take on it, bro.
I hear you on that. And in terms of that penalty decision today, what was your take on it, bro? Penalty or
no penalty? No red. Sorry. I'm not.
And you're a Liverpool fan.
It's not opinion, though. It's fact, man. It's
understand the rules.
And then
why is it not pen? Like, why is it not pen?
For me, that is harsh. That is harsh.
That harsh doesn't mean incorrect. This is harsh doesn't mean incorrect. This is the thing. It's wrong or right. It's simple. There's no opinion on it. It's
you can't have an opinion on something like that because of the rules. The rules state that if the player moves his arm towards the ball, it's a penalty, and he moved it towards the ball on the line. So what do you expect?
No, you want him to chop his arm.
Listen, I'm not complaining. Of course, I'm not complaining. But I'm just saying, if that happened to us, I'd be a bit.
I won't. If that happens to us, 100%. It's the rules. It's not a debate. Yeah. This is the thing.
Stop it. You just talk like babies. If it
no,
comes to you.
you say one where I'd say that.
But on the laws, though, as I said earlier, it's the interpretation. If it's accidental, it's not a red card because it's if it's accidental, because it not even accidental. If it hits the arm, the referee is stating that Reece James deliberately and that's what the debate is here. It's did Reece James deliberately handball the ball or not?
The grey area is that.
I don't think it was deliberate. Then it ain't a red card.
But everyone's going off the first initial contact with his hand of it's not a handball. You got to remember his hand moved forward. His arm made a scooping motion, and that is where the handball occurs.
And that's fine. So we're arguing over the wrong thing here. Whether was it deliberate?
It wasn't a red card. Simple.
It wasn't a red card. It's not.
If it wasn't deliberate, it can't be a red card. If it was, if you think it is deliberate, then you've got to say red card. Exactly. Listen, to wrap, great call, mate. Thanks for coming on and having your say. Really appreciate it, bro. Top man. Thank you. Super chat here says, Man City and Liverpool fans, let's all laugh at Chelsea fans because Chelsea fans are delusional.
That makes a lot of sense, doesn't it? I mean, we're the champions of Europe. You lost to us, mate. So eat that one.
Fair play with that one, Jim.
Guys, let me just read these out, please. Tuchel is an elite manager. I cannot see Chelsea conceding more than a goal a game. I mean, they'll concede a lot. They're not going to concede 38 goals. That's definitely going to happen over the course of this season. I might have missed one more super chat as well. I think I did from CJ, who says, here we go, confirmed. Zuma to West Ham, done.
There's one more, Terry.
Is that the case? Oh, here we go. If not for the penalty, we were winning that facts. That has to be the thread of how Anthony Taylor mugged us for how many games now. There has to be a thread of how many games he's mugged us for now. Chelsea winning the Prem. I'm not too surprised Zuma's gone. That's it. Jules Koundé on his way as well now. It's all going to fall into place. And finally, at last, my transfer news comes true. It's going to happen. The pressure's gone. Slens is here with us now to have you say welcome back to the show. Slens, what's on your mind, mate?
Yeah, you see, everyone's arguing about this decision, yeah? My issue isn't the decision itself. It's how long he took. Like, I know people say he wanted the game to go on, yeah? But if you look at it, he had one look, and he took his red out right away. It shows to me that he just wants to be the center of attention. I don't like that guy. I don't want to say his name because I'll start cussing him out. But that referee just annoys me because I feel like he loves the center of attention. Like, I feel like he wants to make a decision that's questionable, so he becomes the center of everything. Like in terms of the game, yeah. Listen, actually, I want to say one more thing about referees. You see the referees, yeah. They're never scrutinized. Like you know, for both sides today, yeah. Anthony Taylor, he was terrible for both sides because we were wasting time, and he just let us go on with it. Like, and with them, they'll make him fouls and not getting yellow cards. So consistently for both sides, The referee was awful, and there's no scrutiny. We're not gonna know. We're not gonna understand why he made those decisions. We're gonna keep going on with it. Like I hate how referees are protected in this country. But listen, in terms of Chelsea and Liverpool, I look at the game in the first half. I think we should have taken our chances. We should have taken our chances. And until the red card, we were the better team, in my opinion. Liverpool did not create many chances. And I have to ask Liverpool fans something, because we talked about this last year. When you lost six games at home, it wasn't your defense that was costing you. It was your attack. And again, Mane, like Hassan brought this up, Mane, for me, like Christensen went from the middle of the centre-back to the right centre-back area, and he was incredible. Mane could not get past him. And I just want to praise Christensen, because he gets a lot of hate as well from our fan base. Like, he's someone who's not, the rough centre-back that people want to see. But honestly speaking, he got shifted from another position, and he was immense. And one more thing as well, in terms of Tuchel and Klopp, there was a chess match. I don't know if you guys noticed it in terms of substitutions. And I felt like Thiago should have been there at half-time. It's crazy to me that he wasn't. And I look at what Tuchel did. He brought on Kovacic. And for me, that just kind of slowed the game down for us. It helped us bring someone who, brings the ball from midfield. Brings the ball from midfield, just drive the ball up to Lukaku and link up with him. So, listen, to me, I think I'm happy with his performance. One thing I love, someone mentioned this, is the shithousery from our team. The dark arts. The dark arts were in full effect, and I love it. I love it. It was beautiful to watch.
The Mourinho effect of Chelsea, you know.
Yeah,
It's just
in fact,
intelligence,
it was
mate.
beautiful
That's
to
just
watch.
intelligence.
Yeah,
Smart.
Beautiful to
It
watch.
was that element of the game tonight was very, very impressive from Chelsea. And do you know what? Like, obviously, I'm working on getting set up for my streams and watching games. I got to that last 20 minutes, and I found myself zoning out of the match, because I sensed nothing was going to happen unless. I actually thought it was more likely Chelsea might nick an against the run of play winner than the other way around. But, ladies and gentlemen, we have some breaking news to bring to you right now. He's there holding the shirt. Kurt Zouma is a West Ham player. I know we always get comments saying it's done, but it is official. 5-year deal. It is over the line. Next up for Chelsea is to go and complete the deal for Jules Koundé. Sevilla are doing exactly what many people predicted at this moment in time. They're just at the last moment trying to push the price up a little bit. This is stereotypical, not just in transfers of football, in every B2B commercial sale in the history of the world. You literally push it right to... How many times I've been with clients? Some of them are like, the contract's coming back over today. I'm on the phone to my boss, the owner. Yeah, look, contract's coming today. Let's get the champers on ice. And then I get an email. Can we just have a quick chat? And you know what's coming. It's we want to change the term, or could we try and reduce the price a little bit? It's the way it always works. But Chelsea are going to go and sort out Jules Koundé now before Tuesday. It's going to be epic. But there we go. Congratulations to Kurt Zouma for becoming a West Ham player. And West Ham could have a very good season themselves. Next caller we're going to bring on here to have their say. We're going to get Connor on. I think Connor's from America. The last time I think he is. I do remember most of my callers as best I can. But Connor's here. What you saying, bro?
What's going on, guys? Thanks for having me on. Jim, KJ, good to see you. If you're watching, 3.5K viewers. So stop and like the stream. You don't get a platform to speak like this very often, but
hey, come on now.
Woke up at 5 a.m. to get the game in, and I'll make 3 quick points. The decision, my opinion is that stopping a clear chance is hitting his thigh first. After that, there is no clear chance on goal. The ball pops up, and his natural motion and bringing his body up to make a deflection brings his arm forward. I agree it's a penalty because it is a handball in the box, but it's unintentional movement. So in my opinion, I think that's not a red card. I'm not arguing the penalty. I just think the red card. And then also how he goes and he doesn't even make it to the screen. He runs over off the pitch 3 feet, leans his head in, looks at it for a second, and then pulls a red. It's just my opinion. It's just bad practice for VAR. And VAR is already under scrutiny in the league. Chelsea, next point, Chelsea is just an absolute stalwart. If we just want to talk about Tuchel takes his team at halftime, red card, 10 men, even playing field, right? 1-1 in Anfield, a man down, and brings a team out and bulwarks their way to a 1-1, 1 point apiece draw. There are some serious questions for Liverpool. As a fan, you should be asking serious questions. For Chelsea, we've got, Zouma out the door, Koundé coming in. I think one of the best defenses in Europe. Liverpool need to start asking questions now. No open play goals with the front three that are supposed to be one of the best in the league. Salah scores a penalty, sure. Didn't see him the rest of the game. Bobby, I didn't even know he was in the lineup. I mean, Mane, I guess, yeah. Like, it's funny, like, we say we have a good front three. Liverpool says that, and then Mane is nowhere to be seen. So it's like, you know, where are we going here? Left back, terrible substitutions by Klopp. I mean, I think he's stubborn more than anything. Brings on, you know, players late. I think it's a defensive masterclass. And then me as a Chelsea fan, I like to play devil's advocate. I have to scrutinize Mason Mount and Kai Havertz a little bit. There were a couple times in the game where Lukaku, being the focal point and trying to be that man, needs the ball played to him. He needs the ball at his feet. For me, I don't know if it's chemistry, not being in the team, to be honest, or it's going to take time to gel. Lukaku needs that ball played immediately to his feet to start pulling Van Dijk, to start pulling Matip. When you start hesitating, that's when the whole Lukaku is pocketed. But overall, great game. I'll take the point, but Liverpool need to start asking questions.
Mate, you're absolutely spot on there. I think with all your analysis, maybe the penalty thing people disagree with, but I think on Liverpool, majority of even hardened Liverpool supporters would agree with you. And it's an interesting one. I'm going to go through it and who takes the L a little bit later. But Connor, thanks for coming on, mate, and having your say. Great points articulated well. Top man. Thank you. Mo here says, when Chelsea are this resolute, hard to concede goals and show such spirited fight, the EPL is on the way. Believe it or not, Christensen and Mendy are rocks. Edward here says, massive result for Liverpool today. Big smiles on the Liverpool fans tonight. Embarrassing result for Chelsea to only get a point against this lot. Celebrate tonight, Liverpool fans. Of course. Now that is
it ironic? Is it
pure irony?
It was sarcasm.
Irony and sarcasm there. There we go. Next caller, Monsieur Ahmed, Liverpool fan, is here. What you saying, brother?
Disappointed, Terry. To be fair, if I look at the whole 90 minutes, it was a poor performance from Liverpool. Our front three is just stale. It's like, I mean, people say, we don't need to add players. We got a well-built squad. The issue is last season, we had a very stale squad where the attackers were not attacking at all. They were not scoring goals. I don't think we scored a goal in 6 games. And it was, if we had another 45 minutes, we would have not scored against Chelsea. And I just want to say this one thing, and I think you know this about this, Terry and KJ and Midnight Vibes. I've always criticized Tuchel and Chelsea, but today the credit goes to Tuchel and Chelsea. And my salt to Thomas Tuchel is going to be less now because I think I've disrespected him too much. And the only reason I did that was because of the intensity of the Premier League. He's placed in the German league and the French league, and I thought it was quite a simple league to play. But he's proving it slowly now that in the Premier League, he can handle the pressure, even being down to 10 men. And that's a massive respect to him. And if anything, Chelsea looked like a more threatening team. In terms of the red card and the penalty, it was a penalty. I understand what people are saying. It hit the thigh and hit the hand. But like KJ said, if you look at the full footage, his hand moves forward. It moves forward. And if he moves forward, he's clearly pushing the ball away. And that's a penalty. And that's deliberate, which is a handball. And but big question needs to be asked about Klopp. What substitution was that, and why was it so late? You had Oxlade-Chamberlain, Divock Origi. We needed to win this game with 10 men, and you're putting on a like for like, and it just looked like we were never going to score. Give us another 90 minutes, we were never going to score in that game, and it's just disappointing, Terry.
I hear you, Monster. Listen, great call, mate. Thanks for coming back on, and thank you very much for re-signing up and becoming a legend and superfan member again. It means a great deal to me. Top man. Thank you very much indeed. Ike here with a super chat says, no problems with the sending off. More to be said about CFC's resilience. Paul attackers pathetic today. Defensive masterclass deserves hype too. Absolutely. Next on the show, Brandon is here with us to have his say. What are you saying, Brandon?
How's everybody doing? Everybody good?
All good, brother.
Yeah, good.
All right, fantastic. Because I refuse to let Anthony Taylor ruin my Saturday. Like he tried to ruin it with the red card and penalty. I personally think that his arm was moving in a natural motion, so I don't think it should be like a red card. A penalty, I'd probably be okay with that, but a red, I don't know about the red because I think that definitely changed us being able to get the win. But a 10-man Chelsea still going up against Liverpool, strong 11. Still brought on Jota and Thiago, so I don't really agree with who's saying like you didn't really have any bench players that can make an impact. Because Jota looks pretty good to me. Thiago kind of killed us the last time we played, like last season around the same time. So I think that was great. Chelsea had the better attack. Chelsea had the better midfield. Chelsea had the better defense. We had the better goalkeeper because Mendy was saving things left, right, and center. Like, I think I'm not going to be upset with this result. I think Chelsea played a very good game. So I'm going to be good with it.
Your question.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think Chelsea can win the league?
I don't want to get too ahead of myself, but I mean, I got to back my club and say yes. Like, I think that we have a pretty resolute team, because if this was like the last time I seen Chelsea go 10 men down was against West Brom, and we dropped it 5-2. So that's why like us going down to 10 men kind of made me nervous. But 10 men against Liverpool in Anfield, and they didn't score on us. Like, I think that shows that we really want to fight for Tuchel. We want to fight for this title. So if they kind of have that kind of determination the entire season, I really believe we can get this. We can win the title.
There we go. Top man, mate. Thank you for coming on and having your say. Really appreciate that and your support, bro. Thank you very much indeed. Thank you. A few final calls before the end of our show, and I'll do what's the segment called? I need to kick myself out of the stream then. That would have been weird. Thank you very much, mate. Top man, Brand. What I called it? Who takes the L? Yeah, a red card killed the match. Rugby is trialing 20-minute cards and forced use of subs. Why can't football do similar? Personally, I don't want it to. Personally, like, if your red card's a red card, I feel like sin bins for certain yellow cards. So, like, you know, the cynical ones where you want to counter attack and they bring you down. I always feel like a yellow card's not enough because you could never get that advantage back. So if you had like a 5-minute, 10-minute period where they were a man down because of that, you would gain an advantage. I think maybe, but that becomes a deep conversation that we ain't got the time for tonight. But thank you for that super chat. Man like, I always pronounce his name wrong. I always call him Father. It's not, how do I pronounce this, KJ?
Fator.
It's Fator.
Yeah.
Three people say it 3 different ways. That doesn't help with dyslexics. Fator. Right, Fator's on the show with us now. What you saying, bro?
Yeah, I literally just came back from the game, literally, Terry. Flipping. No, that was like a heart attack moment in the second half, about 10 men. But honestly, I'm still happy with the results. Honestly, even though they were calculating the game, we all know Anthony Taylor attack strikes again. But I think what we did the second half, it was brilliant. And hats off to Christensen. I thought he was magnificent for him coming today. But also defensively, I thought we were brilliant so far with 10 men. Honestly.
Yeah, look, you definitely did that, mate, and you put in a very good performance indeed, and you just showed that strength. You know what you've got moving forward. Now, how much better you could become, and look, you may still have 2 more players to join this squad. You may still have the likes of Sal Niguez and Jules Koundé to come in. Yeah, you're lagging there, mate. Listen, thank you very much for calling in, bro, and having your say and all the support you give the Terrace. Top man indeed. Thank you. Charlotte back with us. Come back. What are you here to say, Charlotte? What are you saying?
Well, I mean, KJ mentioned my name, so, you know, it's only right that I came back, you know.
Oh, God. It wouldn't smoke.
No. It's okay, KJ. I'll remember this one, you know. But, you know, like, I think the problem is that, like, these Liverpool fans are acting so gassed, like, yeah, like, we didn't lose. But, you know, you did kind of, because you couldn't beat a 10-man Chelsea, which is kind of embarrassing for you, like really embarrassing for you, like really, really embarrassing for you, because you've come up.
It's disappointing.
Liverpool have been bigging themselves up. They were like, yeah, we're going to thrash you. Like, I'm not saying all Liverpool fans, but there have been some really cocky fans that have been like, yeah, we're going to thrash you. Like, and you couldn't even beat a 10-man Chelsea. Like, it's embarrassing because our defense is better. Like, your team is completely in shambles right now. Like, I didn't even realize players on your team were in the starting lineup. Like, I mean, let's talk about Firmino. I didn't even realize he was on the pitch. I really honestly didn't realize he was on the pitch until he got subbed off. And I was like, he's on the pitch? When did he turn up? Yeah, like, I'm just confused that when he turned up, you know. Yeah. And I'm not mad. KJ, the point is I'm not mad about what happened. I'm mad about the events of play. Like, if we're going to be even on this, firstly, let's be realistic. If you kick the ball away, that's a yellow card. Where was Salah's yellow card? It was missing. Sorry, Anthony Taylor took 2 seconds to look at a picture. And as I said before, a picture doesn't tell the full story. You need the video to be able to see the full story. Yes, eventually it may have been given, but if Anthony Taylor had actually gone and looked at it properly, people wouldn't have been as mad. But fact is, he took 2 seconds. I'm sorry, if this was Liverpool fans and this had happened to Liverpool fans, they would be crying, screaming from the top of the rooftops. They would be shouting, ranting, and cussing everybody in their line. But because it's Chelsea and we're oil money, like, it's not okay. No, it is. Because if it was the other way around, you'd be just as fuming as us. It's the fact that Anthony Taylor just took 2 seconds. Like, hun, come on. We've had issues. But I think the problem is when Anthony Taylor... No, I'm not saying that. I'm not... That's not
Charlotte,
my
do you
issue.
realize the level of irony of what you're doing right now?
That's not my issue. My issue is that he didn't look at it properly.
That's fair.
That's
my issue as well.
If Anthony Taylor had actually looked at it properly and actually given Mo Salah the yellow card that he should have been given when he kicked the ball away, just like everyone else who would have kicked the ball would have been given a yellow card, and actually had been treated fairly, and there had been consistency in the way that yellow cards and red cards were given out, there wouldn't be this much of an issue. But fact is, there was no fairness in this game.
To be fair, Charles,
Let's be realistic, there wasn't.
There is something I want to report about what you said, though. And it's nothing to do with the reffing and the VAR things. I agree. I get what you're saying. I agree with what you're saying. You mentioned the Liverpool fans being arrogant, saying that they're gonna batter us, and you haven't. But I'm sure even on the Football and Terrace preview that the Chelsea fans also had the same kind of smoke for Liverpool, saying you're going to batter them 4-0, 3-0, and yet you
but
guys
that wasn't
still.
me. But that wasn't me.
I'm not saying you. I'm not saying you.
There's a reason why we didn't batter them, though, wasn't it?
Let's be realistic. If Reece James hadn't been taken off, Liverpool would have lost.
No, but I'm not finished the question.
No, that's not a fact. You don't know that.
Well, I do. You will literally.
Sorry. KJ, ask your question, please. Sorry.
Yeah, I was gonna say, so what led to you guys not winning that game? Because you guys went into confident, thinking you're gonna win. So clearly, something on your end didn't go right. And what led to your red card? How have you guys not looked at that?
I know what led to it. I'm going to say to it now. I know exactly what happened. Marcus Alonso just decided to head the ball out.
You're going to blame the wrong person, Jem. You're going to blame
No, wait a second. No, Marcus Alonso headed the ball out of Mendy's hand. He shouldn't have done that. He shouldn't have. It was.
The keeper should claim it, though.
The ball was in. Listen, the ball was in the air. Mendy's about to catch it. Alonso's not even looking at what's around him, and he just jumps in the air, and God knows what he's done.
Jem, can I say something? Can I respond
to the danger spot?
You see, a keeper should always be dominant in the air. Should always be dominant in the air. He should clatter into Alonso and grab it. That's what he should do. I'll be honest with you. Like,
he was on his knees then.
The best of keepers were dominant in the air. They clatter into you, even if you're the on-defender, and claim the ball. But his hand was too weak. I know Alonso went up for it.
He was on, bro. He was on the floor. He got up. He was getting up to catch the ball, and Alonso decided to jump in the air and just head to the ball.
Well, clatter into him, bro. You have to do that as a keeper.
He's on the floor. What's he gonna do? I mean, grab his knees.
He was in
the I'm sorry. You know, like that's what I'm trying to say to Alonso.
We're getting really bad feedback from loads of microphones at the minute. We've probably got too many people in. I've had to mute a few. We get really bad feedback on the stream there. I hear all the arguments, the debates. We've been through a lot of them tonight. There's a few super chats I've got to do here. Neil here says you put 10 men behind the ball, outspent Liverpool in the transfer market, and Liverpool had a midfield consisting of an 18-year-old, and you were saying that we should be embarrassed. In the immortal words of the great Mr. DT, behave yourselves, is what Neil O'Callaghan has got to say here. I don't want us to be that fan base that blames the refs. We showed up and puts up a fight, and we got a point with a man down. I'm worried if we get an injury in midfield. Definitely need to add somebody. Look, and I actually think everybody's points hold water in their own space. Chelsea were on top until they had that man sent off. There is no shadow. There's no shadow of a doubt in that. They certainly were in front. They were dominating. That's, for me, is a fact. But you never know in football, and that's what makes it such a debate and what makes it such an argument. We're going to go on to who takes the L in a minute. Thank you, C here, who says we still have the same smoke. Liverpool will get smoked without the red card. The next time Anthony Taylor won't be able to save you. And again, Neil, thank you so much for that wonderful and generous donation to the Football Terrace. I cannot tell you how humbling it is each and every time people super chat here, sign up as members and all that jazz. So thank you very, very much indeed. I'm going to do who takes the L here. And it's the first one I've done, given my roundup and conclusion. And it can only go to one place. And I mean this with all due respect. It can only go to Liverpool Football Club. It can only go to Liverpool Football Club today. And I'm not trying to be overtly confrontational. Liverpool and Chelsea, to me, pound for pound, your teams are on par with one another. You both have two of the best managers in world football. Both your fan bases were supremely confident going into this game. You were being outplayed in that first half, in my opinion. You looked dangerous on the counter, there's no doubt. You looked potent, but Chelsea were handling it. Were you lucky to get the penalty? No, I do think it was a penalty. Do I think it was a red card? That's up to be debated. I don't think it was deliberate, in my opinion. Just, I know his arm moved. I think it was one of those, I'm trying to get my arm out of the way type things. However, you then were in a very, very, very comfortable position. 10 men at home attacking the Kop. And what you saw tonight with Liverpool is what my biggest criticism of Liverpool has been over the past 18 months, is your attack has gone stale. The defense and the injuries has been the excuse that everybody has pinned and put up as to why you didn't challenge for the title last year. But I felt all along that it was more to do with the attack and the inability to convert chances. And we saw that tonight. Chelsea are a supremely brilliant team. There is no doubt about it. But when you're at Anfield, you've got the 12th man, you've got Klopp, you've got the best front three, one of the best midfield, the best defense. Could have gone hell for leather. You could leave yourself exposed a little bit. You got the best defense, and you didn't do that tonight. It should, and I think it does to Liverpool fans that are being honest, feel like a loss this evening because of that numerical advantage you had on the pitch. Still a long way to go in the season, though. No one's campaigns are written off at all. It's going to be interesting to see what happens between now and the end of this transfer window. By the way, I made the biggest dyslexic bloomer of my life. I went to update on the Zuma thing, and I quote tweeted a Koundé tweet and wrote Koundé to West Ham complete. Literally, I don't even know why Zuma and Koundé in my mind, in my little dyslexic brain, gets confused. And I saw these replies. I was going, that's a lot of responses to a tweet I've put out. And I'm like, that's why. Yes, that was a mistake. It was one of them ones there. So a big dyslexic moment in relation to that. So I apologize to anyone that saw it. Thought, why is Terry making up? I mean, that'd be a weird one for me to make up when he's just been announced as like Joey, just on Zuma that Koundé is going there. Most people realize it was an honest mistake. But there we go. Listen, everyone who's tuned into the stream today, a massive thank you to each and every single one of you, to all our super chatters. Thank you. Until next time, take care of yourselves. Goodbye. God bless.